What's going on? It's your man DJ Hassan. I am sitting here with the legendary, none other than my man Kid Cole, producer, DJ back in the day. He don't DJ no more. You still DJ?
No, sir.
He don't touch the turntables. He was a cold boy on the turntables back in the day.
Once upon a time, not long ago.
One of the people I looked up to as a DJ, and now I'm looking towards as a producer. And his credits, when I tell you about accolades and credits, I'm just gonna name a few. He's done work for Foxy Brown. He's done work for recording artist Loon. He did 8 songs for Ashanti. But we are here to talk about the late Earl Simmons and the work you've done with DMX. So without further ado, what's happening, man? How you feeling?
DJ Hassan, my brother.
Man,
another.
Good to be here. Good to be chopping it up with you.
Good to be here, bro.
Hey, man. So, talk to me about the how you got hooked up with X to begin with.
My manager, Darren Juicy Johnson. Everybody, trying to wear all these hats. I'm gonna release my mixtape and I'm gonna release this and I'm gonna drop that. Those are really other hats. There's more hats than, you know what I mean? So I always just wore my hat. And I got me a manager that wears another hat. He don't sit in the studio. He ain't with all this, change the ad libs, and he ain't with none of that. When you finish, holla at me. That's another hat.
Yes.
Hat I don't wear. So Juice. Just call him Juice. He made that happen. Him and he had a mutual friend who was DMX road manager.
Okay.
And that was the nexus.
And that's how it got in. Now, you've done a track with DMX. So you've done a few tracks with DMX. What was a couple of the tracks that you have done and produced for him?
Well, I did the one I Miss You with DMX featuring Faith Evans.
Yep.
I did, his label was Bloodline.
Yep.
I did the Bloodline anthem, which was also in the movie Against the Ropes, featuring Omar Epps.
Which is one of my favorite movies because it was funny and Omar Epps was boxing and that soundtrack is dope. Honestly, that soundtrack is dope.
Thank you.
And now obviously you hear about in the paper what X troubles was and what he been through and some of the things that good and bad. How was hanging out with X? Give me the uncut, because you got a chance to hang out with him, I would imagine, right?
Several times. Absolutely, I was with him. I was signed with him for years. So
and I mean, you ain't got to give me no stories, but was X like
wild?
That's what was he?
Wow, listen, some of the stuff I can't even tell you he did when we was in Miami. I will say this, one thing about him, when they built the brand new hit factory in Miami, Michael Jackson was the first artist that recorded there. We were second. And when we heard Michael was there, X went crazy. I wanted to meet Michael, and he wanted to meet Michael, I think a little more than I wanted to meet Michael. So we got there. We missed Mike by 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I was, damn, oh, man. But X was emotional. Like, he wanted to see Michael. Okay. And so did I. But we missed him. But that was good. And, hanging out with him, he's tough, man. Just funny as hell. Pardon me. But he was funny as hell.
Yeah.
And one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, he was a pool shark. As well.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know. I didn't seen him win an illegal amount of money shooting pool all over the country. He was cold.
There was a video clip in the X documentary where he was playing pool, and I guess at one point in time he was supposed to be on the plane headed somewhere to be somewhere, but instead of going, because I guess he used to miss a few shows. But he was playing pool, though, huh?
Yeah, he was nice.
Where did you actually recorded him as well? You actually recorded and tracked him in the studio.
Yes.
What studios have y'all tracked at? What studios did you record him
in? Well, the most memorable one is the Hit Factory in Miami. And then I don't remember the one when him and Steven Seagals was shooting Exit Wounds.
Yeah.
That's when I went down to Toronto and we did that song with Faith Evans and DMX. And that studio, I can't think of the name of that studio, but
In Toronto?
It was crazy, yes.
In Toronto?
Yeah. And my may I say this about my man, late great DJ Shay? I took Shay with me.
Okay.
I took him down there when I went to do that song with him and Faith. I took Shay with me, and X got us so drunk.
Okay.
I mean, I was so drunk I couldn't count the bars. And I don't even remember why I had to count the bars, but
right.
X was in the booth.
Okay.
And he stayed prayed up. Let me say that too. And then we stopped the song probably during the recording of that song.
Yeah.
He might have prayed about 7-8 times, and he just out of nowhere. You think he about to rap, and he prayed.
And pray.
I see. And this ain't hearsay. I was there.
And you there.
But about my man DJ Shay, may he rest in peace. Listen. I was counting the bars, and I looked at Shay. I said, "That's 4 bars, right? Sure, like yeah, in word, yeah, that's what that. You know what I mean? I was twist. X got us toe up, and I know Shay enjoyed it too. That was great, man.
And obviously, man, Shay is near and dear to both of us, and will truly be missed. It's funny. Sometimes I think of the stories when I'm on the radio DJing, I can hear him in my head sometimes. Hassan, you held that mix too long, Hassan. You held that blend too long.
Right.
Get in and out of that blend. I still hear him in my head when I'm doing these 90s at noon mixes. I hear Shay saying things like that in my head still. And I wanted to touch on one other thing, because you mentioned this. When you started recording X, right? And then you mentioned the song that you did with him with Faith. Did those beats and stuff that you did you actually do them here in Buffalo?
Well, the one with actually I did them here. Everything I did, the tracks were created here.
You did the tracks here in Buffalo.
One, well, I sold to Hooch Cracks. Listen, the one that he took that he did with Faith was actually Hooch beat. That was Hooch track first. And then X got in there. I said, "Cuz, let me tell you something, cuz.
Talk about it, kid.
You're going to have to let this one go, cuz, for real. Enough. Enough." He's like, "What you mean, cuz? Enough.
Now, talk to me about X and how he was in the booth. Now, he seems like, you know how some artists in the booth can be very demanding. They can be, turn my headphones up. Give me this. Give me that. Was he courteous? Was he kind? How was he to work with?
No problem, man. He's, not that I did a million records with him, but I do got platinum with. I do have platinum music with the guy. So,
yes.
But he was never like that. Like, it's people locally that'll give you particular hell.
Right.
And they hear, and they far from a DMX. But they sit up there and you can see the frustration. X, I never got none of that from him.
Wow.
I don't know if it was the money difference between him and them. I don't know. But that and they when I feel unappreciated when I'm working with somebody, because a lot of these young guys don't know my history.
They don't know, man.
Yeah.
But for people who don't know, kid, how long have you been producing?
You asked me to tell my age.
I mean, I put it like this. I've been DJing for 25 years, and I looked up to you as a DJ. So how long have you been producing?
Since I was, let me just say, since I was 15.
Let me tell you something. I remember the 808 drum machine that you brought to the Juneteenth. You brought an 808 to the Juneteenth once before.
Yes.
It was the first time I ever heard of that drum machine.
Yeah, it's been around.
Yo, and let me just put this out there. First of all, I appreciate you for doing this interview, because you don't talk to the press. You really don't mess around for real on camera. So I appreciate that. And so anyway, real quick, the songs that you did with Ashanti, man, talk about that.
Shout out to Jonathan Reed, man. He helped me with a lot of that stuff that I did with Ashanti. Excellent keyboard guy. I play keys, of course, too, but he was an excellent additive. And with Foxy Brown, man. Super Freak. Yeah, I sung the hook on there too.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Super Freak. Yeah.
But I did that.
Oh my God, man.
And that was originally me and Adian's song.
Okay. How many songs would you say? Because you did a lot of. First of all, Buffalo got some crazy talent and crazy artists here.
I agree.
Buffalo artists is off the chain.
I agree.
How many beats would you say you did that got passed on that maybe these artists probably should have took or paid you for? Because I would imagine the money wasn't right. So,
well, it's when you talk about the money of it, you know, I work with people I choose to work with, and I don't say, okay, well, he only got 500,
right,
and I ain't gonna work with him because I'm gonna get this 1,000 over here. But I'm gonna do it at this point of the game now. Yeah. Maybe about 15, 20 years ago or something, it would have been at this stage of the game. It ain't even about that. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that about you. I see at this stage of the game, you really work with who you love. You always loved the music, but now it's even more of a passion for you. I would say even now than it was then, right? Or no?
Well, it's good. It's sitting good, and I feel I'm in a better place right now, mentally, musically, than ever in life.
How are you adapting to the sound that's going on right now? I mean, you've been making beats forever.
A long time.
Y'all see, I keep trying to get him to talk to me about that. He ain't gonna go there. A good interviewer will ask the same question a different way a bunch of times. He just say he ain't going for it. No. But anyway, how are you adapting to today's sound and what's going on in today's world?
I work with mainly young people. Period.
Oh, okay.
You know, young people. And when I work with older people, I don't knock nobody for what they do.
Right.
You know, with the throwback stuff Benny and them do. You know, that's fine. That's the old me. You know what I mean? I love it personally. But how am I adapting was the question. Is I'm gonna just say this. This is how I see it. You roll with it or it's gonna roll over you. You know what I mean? So if I'd have stayed where I was, I'd be obsolete today.
Yes.
And I'm saying that to say, if you ain't youthful, you ain't useful.
Talk about it. And you mentioned, you know how certain artists go to certain producers for certain things? Do you find that artists are coming to you specifically because they're looking for that Kid Code sound? Is there a Kid Code sound? Like there's a Swizz Beatz sound, like there's a Timberland sound. Is there a Kid Code sound?
No. And I'm gonna say this because, like, when you look at the first record I did with X, the I Miss You record, and then you listen at the anthem, totally different. Rock, you know, Badia did the hook. Yep. She's singing, it's like rock. I'm talking about live guitar, bass, drums.
Yes.
It's rock, totally different. So you couldn't hear that and say, well, I can tell the same person done these. And it didn't stop there. You know, I'll do a pop record.
Yeah.
I do a gospel record. You know.
So you adapt to what you're being brought, what people bring to you. You do what's being brought to you.
I think I was blessed enough to be able to adapt to when somebody say, give me something like this, or give me something like that, to be able to do. You can't go to Swizz Beatz, I don't think, and say some R&B person really need an R&B song. You know, he gonna DMX you to death. He gonna jump and buy. I mean, that's my man. And matter of fact, speaking of Swizz, I don't think I would have ever locked that deal in with X without Swizz. And I'm gonna tell you why. I took X some beats that day, you know, and went to Toronto. Went there, I met him. He was cooking some eggs, and I looked and I seen how small his ankles was. And I said that couldn't be the guy I've been seeing on TV, looking big as, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I seen them little ankles. I said, that he turned around. Yo, what up? I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, that is him. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, but after the meeting, you know, it's good. He liked the beats, you know, whatever. But when I went outside, I put my mixtape on that I had DMX on before I even met him. And the mixtape I'm playing, so I turned it on, it's loud. And Swizz coming to my truck, he said, yo, what's that? I said, that's the mixtape stuff I did, old stuff, you know, I did with DMX on there. He said, did you play that for Dog? I said, no. He said, man, take that back in here. Take that back in there. Play that for him right now. Take that. That's what he said. So I turns around, I take it in there. I played that. And I think that was the deal breaker. Wow. Because, you know, nobody know X better than Swizz. Yes. And X went crazy. And I think that is what really he already jive. You know, I can tell he was jive feeling me, but that when I seen the look and how he reacted to that did it.
Speaking of Swizz, you worked with any other producers outside of Swizz like that's heavy producers? Like any other?
Well, I did a lot of work with Mario Weber.
Okay.
You know, he did a lot of stuff for Jennings.
Okay.
What's his name?
Life Jennings.
Yeah.
Life Jennings.
Yeah, he did a lot of tour. He's probably still touring with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one. Another producer, E-Bass.
Okay.
I did a lot of work with E-Bass, and I was with him almost the whole time I was with Def Jam. He was always there. E was always with me and him was together. But E-Bass from Rochester, he did he probably got about 20 platinum records.
Wow. Yeah. So what's you had any fond memories, man, of X, man, that you just want to just let the world know that, man.
Let me just say one that my man Goose, another artist I work with a lot. He said something to me that made me think about this. And when I was talking to X one day, and matter of fact, speaking of when we was doing that, he was shooting X Wounds. Him and Steven Seagal got into it. Let me tell you this real quick.
Oh my God!
Yeah, him and Steven, because they was doing a fighting scene, and X hit him a little bit. You know, he didn't hurt him or nothing, just hit him a little bit. And the look in Steven's face was like that, and he looked at X and he put his finger in his face and he said, "Don't touch me." You know, Steven, you see, he whooped behind.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
Steven can fight for real.
Yeah, I heard. You know what I mean? And I'm up against this. You know, I'm sorry about the phone. I'm up against this here. I don't know if I'm about to get, you know, what is it? About to be horizontal. You know what I'm saying? Messing with him. So I didn't know if we had it coming. I didn't think I could win.
Right. Oh, man. Well, listen, man, it was a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. The one and only Kid Code. This is probably one of them interviews that I could sell, I think, man, because I don't think we ever been on camera together. So
I want 10%. 10%, cuz.
10%, cuz.
I need 10%.
Oh, wait, hold on, too. Oh, that thing ain't plugged in. I got to get that recorded. We'll get that on another video. DJ Hassan signing out, man. Thanks for joining me. Peace.
Peace.